Y'all riding with me through the storm. Every view, every ear, every prayer, we ain't standing alone no more. From the ashes we rose with a Bible in hand. Truth in the dirt, still we taking a stand. Y'all tuned in while the world turned away, but God ain't done, he's still making a way. For the lost, for the broken, for the ones who believe. We riding together, outlaw misfits never leave. Raise your hands if you still got faith. Shout amen if you walk through flames. We're outlaw misfits, breaking chains in the light. Truth on our lips and we ready to fight. I ain't no polished preacher, I'm a scarred up man, but y'all stood beside me when the fire hit the land. Every view, every share, it's a spark in the dark, like thunder in the night, putting truth in your heart. And this is Broken Roots, where the outlaw rides. Faith and fire mix, and the spirit never hides. For the lost, for the broken, for the ones who believe. We riding together, outlaw misfits never leave. Raise your hands if you still got faith. Shout amen if you walk through flames. We're outlaw misfits, breaking chains in the light. Truth on our lips and we ready to fight. Storm clouds roll, but the fire don't fade. We're the rebels in the night that the Lord has made. Thank y'all for the love, for the fight, for the stand. Together with God, we gon' heal this land. Raise your hands if you still got faith. Shout amen if you walk through flames. We're outlaw misfits, breaking chains in the light. Truth on our lips and we ready to fight. To every soul who pressed play, you're proof God's not done with us yet. Keep riding, keep fighting.
What's up?
This is Broken Roots.
You saying hello?
We're outlaw misfits.
Amen. Amen. Rachel's going to be helping me out tonight big time because, guys, I haven't been doing well. Yeah, she'll tell you I haven't been doing well. So, I was better yesterday than I have been today. And
He's been kind of out of it all day.
so she's going to help me out with this live stream for sure.
I'm gonna do my
You know,
best.
and we're going to try to pick up actually with a little more than we left off with yesterday because, you know, we obviously got off on different subjects and not on the subject that I was wanting to lead us on. But another thing is because I can't dive that deep into Enoch just yet because I can't focus, guys.
We'll start on that Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
Monday.
For sure. But yeah, thanks for your prayers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're working, guys. It's hard the first, what, 2 weeks?
2 to 5 days are the worst.
Well, I hadn't hit the 5th day yet, but it's been pretty bad. I can't hardly walk. I mean, at all. So, yeah, if that. But anyway, yeah. So,
We got some videos lined up. We're gonna kind of talk about, finish what we were talking about yesterday.
yeah, about deception.
And
Because-
there's some, it's echoing really bad.
Oh, well, they don't hear the echo we do.
Oh,
But
that's kind of annoying.
But yeah, the deception. Why is it important? The reason why it's important is because if you want to know how close the rapture is,
It's knocking.
it's right here at our door.
knocking.
I mean, all the signs are here, and that UFO thing we've always known when the UFO thing became a thing, it came out that
Kinda
this was
bright.
going to be the deception. You want what?
Kind of bright,
Oh, okay.
don't you think?
So
Much better.
we're that like everybody's like always if I people try to narrow me down and be like, when do you think it's not. I'm not talking about a date, but if you're looking for a time, I mean, it's coming and it's coming quick. This UFO disclosure is not, and it's not supposed to be little because there is,
Well, they've already dropped some of the files,
yeah,
um, which I've seen some of them, but I haven't seen all of them. They're
but
pretty. I mean, it's definitely something not of this world. You can definitely tell that.
and obviously they're going to try to convince you that they made us or that they made up religion all to control us. Whatever is being said is false. It's a deception, but it definitely is coming.
Mm.
So if there's anything that we could say, okay, well, what is it time to prepare for? Well, let's prepare for this one. It's coming. It's like within weeks, days, hours. I don't know. It's coming. And so then it's like, well, what's next? Well, we'll prepare for that, whatever that is. But right now, this is the one to prepare for. And to me, it's the closest thing besides watching AI, how smart it's getting, is the closest thing you can look at to rapture time. Go time, guys. But anyway, yeah. So, um, we are. I'm excited about it. I think you guys. We live in an amazing time in history. An amazing time.
Melissa said, I believe this is Satan's last ditch effort these last days. He knows his time is
Amy's
short.
here. What's up, Amy? I can't see who's
Hey.
over here. Cause you gotta tell me.
I didn't see it. Oh, I just
Yeah.
seen it. I just seen it.
Put this.
Okay.
All right. She won't put both devices down.
Well, I have to work.
Yeah. No.
This is work.
This is seriously.
No,
I need your help.
I am helping. What do you want me to do?
So we had this lineup that we want to take a look at, and I want you to listen to what this girl's saying because it kind of goes with what we're talking about, and we'll talk about it afterwards, like, and I'll play like maybe half of it, and then we'll see if I think it's a short anyway, but I like to play half of it, see if you guys want to see the rest of it. That makes it fun for me. So.
Hey, Amy. It's good to see you here.
Let's see. So we'll watch it together. Let's watch it together.
Closure Day. Today is the day that the Pentagon is supposed to start releasing all its files regarding UFOs. I have a feeling that things are about to get a little weird. The files are being released in tranches and not in one huge data dump like the Epstein files. Maybe they're doing it that way because it's going to be a shock to the system for a lot of people. And this article discusses how it could impact major religions. This article also states that U.S. intelligence officials met with high-profile pastors to tell them to prepare their congregations for what's coming. President Jimmy Carter had an encounter with a UFO, and when he became president, he vowed to release all the government files on UFOs, but he later recanted on that promise, citing national security concerns. After Jimmy Carter recanted on that promise, rumors started circulating that he had actually been debriefed by the CIA about aliens, and they confirmed that aliens exist And they also told him that aliens said that all the major religions of the world were created by them because humans needed to be accountable to a higher power so they wouldn't destroy themselves. The story goes that this alleged debriefing moved President Carter to tears, and he realized he could not release this information to the public. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see these little dudes. How do you feel about alien disclosure? Leave me a comment.
What do you guys think? I mean, the thing is that we know the disclosure. This is something that they've been hiding for how many years now?
Well, she said Carter, so that was
the 70s.
That was the 70s.
But they've been basically hiding everything they know about it since like the 40s.
I think it was the 30s.
You do?
Yeah.
Why's that?
Well, it seems like I seen a video and they were talking about something in the 1930s.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say?
I thought you were gonna say that it was good, like there was some kind of event that made you think.
No, I just seen a video where they're talking about 1930s.
All right, well,
He expects so much and gets very little.
She just believed the video. Well, that's cool. I mean, everybody has their reasons. You know what I mean? You got yours.
I'm just talking about the date.
Yeah, but
I can't stand that.
But do you see how like what's that?
The echo. Sounds like I'm talking over myself.
Maybe we should back this up a little bit and talk. Are you okay with that?
I don't know. That's a little better.
Yeah. So the reason why I say the 1940s is because I think it was like when was Roswell?
That was that the 50s, 40s, 50s? Let me look it up.
When was Roswell? I mean, look.
Let's see. Roswell.
I'm not sitting here. Look, it's demonic, or it's, and there's also angelic.
That's why I want to show that video that Katie did.
Yeah.
Because.
But everybody always likes to attach demonic with everything. But angels won't tell you that they created you, and that that they created a religion.
1947.
Okay, so 1947, Roswell happens. At the same time, Israel becomes a nation. Look it up. What year?
1948, I think.
Right.
So the next year.
So the next, you know what I mean? So
you think the Jewish people are aliens?
I think they act alien, but no, I don't think they're alien. I just think it's weird how all the timing of events right there around that time, like it was a couple of years before then that they bombed Hiroshima. Okay, and then you get Roswell, and then
the nuclear thing happen before?
It happened first. I think it was like
that's
1943. Hey, Mama Bear.
Hello.
So I can't believe that they are going read
forward with this deception, because I feel like most people know what it is.
Well, yeah, but you gotta understand, Kern. Like I figured that most people who are in America at least know what Christianity is, and that's really not true. It's not true at all. You know what I mean? And we've got access to the most, like as far as being able to, have access to Christianity. And you would think sometime throughout somebody's life they would have been told. I deal with people all the time that just don't know anything about it. Nothing. Right here in this country. That's why I wonder why they send missionaries out to other countries when we need missionaries in this country. It doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it makes sense, but people here in America are a different breed of people.
How many people does it show on your side? How many people does it show on your guys'
Surely
side?
it's not just 3 people.
Yeah, this thing lies all the time, Rachel. You gotta, you know, it'll start going up when I say something. You know what I mean, or that, whatever. But, yeah, I just think that there was a lot of strange occurrences right there in that mid 1940s. Okay.
Yeah, they say 4 too.
Okay, yeah, that's what's showing here. I mean,
Well, maybe there's only 4 people in here.
I don't know.
Mama Bear, Amy, Melissa, Jason.
That's what it's showing on this side, guys.
Yeah,
I
there's
guess
only
it's that.
4 people in here.
But yeah, I needed help with this live stream because I haven't been able to hold it together.
Okay, well, let's show the videos.
Okay, so next, yeah, let's show this one. What this guy's talking about some kind of the same subject, but
there is an aspect of the first batch of UFO files released by the White House that nobody is talking about. So what do we know? We know that this is the first of what is supposed to be a slow rollout of potential UFO disclosure. And we know that in this first batch of files, there's been a few videos released, including this one above. There's a screen grab of an unidentified UFO, an unidentified object. And many individuals are pointing out that it actually looks like a biblically accurate angel. Well, what else do we know? We know that earlier this week, apparently religious leaders in the United States and pastors were brought to the White House and given a preview of what the White House would be releasing. And most individuals have been speculating that they're letting these religious leaders and pastors know about this because Christians could find themselves questioning their own faith and their own Christianity and their own belief in the Lord God Almighty. But this is what nobody is talking about. What if it's going the other direction? What if these religious leaders and pastors were actually brought to the White House because the White House has evidence of the existence of God? Representative Tim Burchett said recently on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's made this comment in public a few times, that Jimmy Carter was given evidence of the existence of UFOs or UAPs. Like, he was shown this classified information and it brought him to tears. And again, many people have speculated it brought him to tears because it made him question his own faith. But again, what if it's the other way? What if it brought Jimmy Carter to tears because it actually confirmed what he already believed, and that is in the existence of the Lord, of God, of Jesus Christ here on earth, and that the White House has actually been keeping this information from the public? Maybe this isn't disclosure of UFOs. Maybe this is all disclosure of the existence of God. And if that's the case, wouldn't you want your religious leaders and pastors here in the United States prepared for possibly a massive influx of individuals who've never gone to church before? I don't know. Makes sense to me.
So what do you guys think?
I don't know.
I mean, he mentioned the Jimmy Carter thing too, but I've even heard more than that because like Nixon was supposed to have picked up Jackie Gleason and took and showed him all the whatever they've got, you know. Jackie Gleason was big into it. If you guys know who Jackie Gleason is, I know a lot of you do, but some of the younger folks might not know who that is.
Who?
Jackie Gleason.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. I know.
you know, to the moon.
Yeah.
But regardless, they're about to. It's about to make Christians question their Christianity. That is the main point of what we're showing you. You know, and just like this guy said, to me it backs it up. But think of the people that it won't back it up to. You see what I'm saying? There's two sides to every coin. It's just like we see the rapture all through the Bible, some people don't see the rapture at all in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, I question, were they invited? Because unless you're invited, you won't see it. Now, you take a look at this and you go, okay, some people will see demonic creatures. Some people will see angelic, you know. But no angel's going to tell you that he's God. No angel's going to tell you to not believe in God. None of that. That would be demons. So we know that. Let's see. Somebody sending me something. Don't. I'm just saying if somebody's sending me something. Melissa sending videos.
Do we have a phone charger in here?
You like that? You like that last video, Melissa? That's good. That's good. And I just think that, hey, look, the biggest thing that we need to be aware of is this particular thing they're coming out with is going to make people question their Christianity. So, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I would like to show that video on Katie, because it talks about the rapture, and I think it makes a lot of sense. It's kind of what you've been saying about the rapture kind of taking place in not the way that we would naturally think that it would happen.
You guys want to hear it? Huh? You guys want to hear this one? Because Rachel finds
and it also talks about parasites, you know,
okay.
and that kind of ties in with it, but you just have to watch it to understand.
Let's let them ask for it. Let's let them ask for it.
Come on, y'all. Don't y'all want to see it?
You want to see Rachel's video that she pulled up, and then she wants to, that she finds interesting. She thinks that you guys will.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Like I say, let's see how many people's in the room. Check it out. Okay, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go to Rachel's video and let y'all watch it. It's on a guy's show that we watch all the time, you know, for different, like, weird different things going on, and she's happens to be on it. So let's get
y'all listen, pay attention.
Okay, so let's get her over here. All right, here we go. This is Rachel's.
This clip, and then I'm going to show you what I think it relates to, and just for the record, I would never hurt myself and I don't do anything dangerous.
Does anybody else wonder why they keep finding hella metal in our food? What I told her is how much metal you have in your body will affect you when this thing happens. It has to do with frequency. Okay, so that I stay safe and I can come back and I stay alive, I'll tell you something. I will give you a hint of what he showed me. It's going to happen. And you have to get rid of these metals in your body. And I know exactly how to do it very easily. If you want to do it fast and quick, it would be green drinks. Anything green, and, you know, the whole fiber thing, all that. I know. But what I'm saying is there's something with chlorophyll that has to do with, it matches, it's very close to your blood in its structure. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so you have to have a carrier that will grab things and take them out of your body, okay? That's why I wanted her to speak to you about this. So, if you want to know what's going to happen, and it could happen tomorrow, it could happen, but they're going to say it's something else. You're going to have to do your own thinking about this. I don't want to get in trouble. But just stick a piece of foil in a microwave and picture that in your body.
These are website names that are still somehow available. So for Australia,
Commercial, that's not all of it.
I know. You guys want to see the rest of it?
Australian non-believers,
She hadn't got to the part she wanted it to get to yet. So she's excited about y'all seeing it. I hadn't got to the good part yet. So here we go.
And now you know the devil's plan.
Matthew 24, Jesus says that the second coming will be like lightning that comes from the east and shines as far as the west. So it's coming from the sun. So will be the coming of the Son of Man. So the sun also creates coronal mass ejections, which are essentially just northern lights or solar flares. You guys know how they keep saying that there's going to be a solar flare that puts the grid down. If you have strong discernment and you know the Bible, I would encourage you to start looking at these topics in the news because they make it, in my opinion, super obvious. What makes a coronal mass ejection eat people? God is a consuming fire. And we're supposed to be living sacrifices, right? I've been talking to you guys. I have found like a million reasons that in my mind completely prove that the rapture event or the second coming will be a Northern Lights global event. And I think that that will also roll back the scroll of the firmament, just like Isaiah and Revelation say. And I think they're calling it a cannibal CME because when you had to make offerings to God, he would come down and eat them via fire from the sky. So lightning from east to west, right? It's pretty standard for the auroras to create light arcs from east to west in polar regions. So I don't think that it's that far off to think that this could just be a global version. And I have antique science books that say that the northern lights are made of the exact same material as lightning. It's just a version that seeps down from the firmament rather than a concentrated strike like lightning would be. And Jesus says it would be like the days of Noah. And Noah is the agency that watches the northern lights like a hawk. They're obsessed with the auroras. Why would they name it Noah? My antique science books say that the auroras used to be classified as a type of cloud also. In Genesis 9, God said, "This is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for all future generations. I have set my bow in the cloud." Rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. So the reason that they're spraying and trying to stuff us all with these materials is because when this happens, it's either going to upgrade your DNA, and they're saying this openly, that's why I'm encouraging you guys to do your own research on it, or if you're full of parasites and it will literally break your DNA strands. So it's my belief that when we walk in unrepentant sin, we give legal grounds in the spiritual realm for parasites and therefore metals, because they're a combined package, to live and enter our system. When we repent, they're taken. That's my personal belief. So what I think is going to happen, and this is not thus saith the Lord, this is, I think this, people that are full of unrepentant sin and like just walking in lawlessness, their DNA strands, and remember your entire body is made up of DNA, are just going to snap. There will be people who are like upgraded, and that's like the rapture event. And then there's going to be people that are struck with leprosy or some form of like rapid. And I think that's people that are like kind of repentant, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you go back through the Old Testament as well as the Ethiopian Bible, it seems to point to lawlessness being the mark of the beast. I talked a lot about this in past videos, but King Uzziah had a censer in his hand, and when he got angry with the priests for correcting him, he broke out in leprosy on his forehead. And when you look into what they're saying about this, they also believe what I'm saying. I'm just giving you what I think is like the biblical version of this. Some people will get struck with disease. Some people will have their DNA upgraded, which I think it's like the rapture, just my opinion. And some people's DNA will break in a way where they themselves just break. And that's why the grid will go down, because the internet and AI, we're the batteries, guys. That's what the data centers are for. We power all of that stuff. So they need us. If a bunch of people, either their DNA snaps and then like others leave entirely, that's obviously going to put the grid down because it's leeching on our life force. I also found it really interesting that in that video, that guy said it could happen right now. It could happen in a few days. No one knows the day or hour. It's going to come out of nowhere. I've been completely obsessed with the auroras for years now, and I can tell you with certainty, they have not tracked them this closely ever. Up until the last 6 months. I don't know what's making them think that they need to track it this closely, but they're watching for it. And I know we all have been watching for it too, because the spirit is tapping on our shoulders. I always recommend doing a parasite and heavy metal cleanse. I have the link in my bio for what I use, but also if you don't plan on like repenting and walking with Jesus, there's not really a point, because it's just going to come back worse. So this isn't about asceticism. This is about preparing for what's coming and the coming deception, because they're obviously going to say that it's a solar flare or whatever nonsense they make up. It's the second coming.
You ever drawn this?
I thought it was really good.
Did you guys like that?
I know it was long. I'm sorry.
But it kind of talks about the upgrades like I was talking about. You know, when you take a look at the verses, okay, and you say, okay, two men are in a field, one looks up, the other one's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Two women in a grinding mill, one looks up, the other one's gone. Now, it's always been taken as they disappeared, right? But they very well don't have to work in a grinding mill anymore or work out in a field. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer a slave to the system.
Right.
You know, I see upgrades coming, guys. It's what I personally see as the rapture. I see us walking through the fire like Abraham for
Becky
3
says she
days and
likes
3
her too.
nights without even burning our clothes. You know what I mean? Just the restraints. What came off of him? Only what was restraining him. So the only thing that's going to hurt you is what's going to get hurt is anything restraining you. Does that make sense? That's actually pretty awesome. I mean, look, with none of us ever knowing what it was going to be, that right there in itself says a lot. Now, why is it that just because you follow Jesus, you can be trusted with things that others can't. You wouldn't hoard billions and billions and billions of dollars, and you got people on the street that don't have anything to eat or a place to stay.
Sad.
Nobody would do that. None of us would do that. That's why we haven't been in those positions while Satan's had his little time.
Yeah.
Most of us on here are not materialistic at all. None of us.
I'm not.
I'm not a materialistic
I've
person.
never been a materialistic person.
Look, guys, this shirt I've been wearing since day one. How long? It's almost been a year now. Almost been a year.
September.
In September, or right around September, it'll be a year. And you see me wearing the same rings that I wear, the same, same clothing. It's because I'm not materialistic, guys. I don't care. As long as I get in my truck and it drives me to the store, get what I need, we can sit down and watch TV in the evenings. I can get on this live stream without problems. Things like that. That's what we care
Life
about in
is
life.
good.
Life
like
is
that.
good. And like prayer. Guys, since we started doing prayer correctly, how fast do our prayers get answered?
Pretty fast.
I mean, amazingly fast.
Within hours.
Amazingly fast.
Mm-hmm.
So when I tell you guys to pray the correct way, it's not because it's trying to be stern or anything. It's because it works. It works.
It does.
When you do it and you see it work, time and time again, it starts working even more and faster and better, and you're like, wow. I think if Joey Moe was on here, Joey Moe would be able to kind of like, he was a part. Sometimes you guys are a part of the prayer, right? Don't never know what's going to happen or what, but sometimes you are. Like, not that I know you are, but like last night I didn't know Joey Moe was in the prayer. I just prayed about something, and Joey Moe shows up and, you know, fulfills the prayer, you know, and you just never know. And that's exciting, and it's real, and it's tangible. Like, I love that, like, freedom of sin. What I like about freedom of sin is there's a receipt to freedom of sin. There's not a receipt to once a sinner, always a sinner. There's nothing in there that's a receipt saying, okay, well, how do I know for sure?
Guitar stirs in here.
All
Hey.
right, what's up, boy?
Hey, Scott. Glad to see you.
Yeah, we are definitely talk, but like I say, there's a receipt to that particular. Yeah, she's over here hitting me with the ruler, Scott. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, she gets a ruler. She just pops me with it. You know, if I get out of hand, she's on here to help me mostly because you know, I've been trying to bounce back from this surgery, and I'm not. I had been bouncing back, so you know, like I want to be invincible, and I'm just
He's definitely not that today.
definitely. Rachel has been helping me out a whole lot today. She's a sweetheart. You know, she takes care of me good. Oh, it's okay, guys. You know, look, this time will pass. I'm just in the middle of it. You know what I mean? It will pass. It's not gonna keep me
I think
down.
after next couple of days, you'll start feeling a lot better.
Yeah, the good thing is that at the end of it, my hip's fixed.
Oh,
But
my
we
ears
we
itch.
were just watching that video about metals being in people, you know, and talking about like how metals are doing a microwave. And I was thinking about, I was like, I just had a titanium hip put in, and my knee was, I don't know what it's made of. I think it's titanium as well. What does that do in a microwave?
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess Jesus will take care of me on that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you got to worry about
You know, but
that. It's the parasites that.
so what did we learn out of that video? Talk about it, because you.
Well, she's saying that she thinks that the rapture is like a coronal mass ejection, except the whole world, you know.
Well, yeah.
And what that is it's gonna, if you have like metals, like parasites or stuff from them spraying, and you haven't repented, when it comes and hits, it's gonna either upgrade your DNA or it's gonna break it.
Or just break it, or just not change. Break
it. It's gonna do one or the other.
Okay. That kind of, you know, yeah. And what else?
Well, and then she referred to some of the Bible scriptures that refer to, you know, in the days of Noah, about the rainbow, the covenant between God and, who was that? Noah.
Oh, okay.
About
So
the bow in the sky.
basically, what, you know, I mean, if you didn't understand what Rachel was saying, because she talks kind of low,
Sorry.
she's saying that what that last video was, is the girl saying that either your DNA gets upgraded or downgraded by this coronal mass ejection. Now, what lines up with that is, look, back when I was going through all my spiritual guys, I know you can believe this or not. You know, I know it's going to be a harder one to believe. But there were movies coming out that were going right along with everything that I was receiving or getting at the time, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it? It would be like, I'd be talking about something, and then Patty would call and say, you need to watch this movie. It's talking about exactly the same thing you're talking about. And I go watch it. And I think it was like, I won't name all of them, but one of them was the movie Knowing. Has anybody ever seen the movie Knowing with, it's got Nicolas Cage in it? The
It's
movie
about
Knowing.
the sun.
And a coronal mass ejection.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've always said that in the book of Malachi, when it says the Son of Righteousness will come out with healing in his wings.
Mm-hmm.
It will also be a time where it tells the opposite there. Because this is a great and terrible day of the Lord.
Yeah, it's great and terrible. So it's great for some people, terrible for some people.
So I'll read it.
That's why I thought that video kind of plays into that, you know, because she's saying that either it's going to break your DNA or upgrade your DNA.
Okay. For indeed, the day is coming, burning like a furnace, when all the arrogant and everyone who commits wickedness will become stubble. You guys hear that?
Stubble.
The coming day will consume them, says the Lord of hosts. Exactly what she's saying. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in its wings, and you will go out, play playful, and jump like calves from the stall.
That's an upgrade.
You will trample the wicked, for they will be ashes under the soles of your feet on the day I am preparing. Now listen, what does he say? I am going to prepare a place for you. What does this say he's doing here? He's preparing. So I see what if it's different, guys? What if it's like that? Well, that would come up on us like a thief. It definitely would.
Mm-hmm.
What's guitars are staying there? I see quite a few. Let's see.
They're just
Make sure. Oh, everybody's talking back and forth. Okay, but yeah.
Kern said that's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, so the movie Knowing, when it came out, I had been saying that. I had been saying that was going to happen. Well, now, right here, we're 10 years later. Now, that movie came out long before. It came out like 2008, 2009, maybe. I'm thinking 2008. Okay. So,
Was it?
or at least on video, because that's when we saw it, 2008. So, and I was being told to watch it. Now, here it is, 2015 happens, and you guys know what happened in 2015. And then we get here 10 years later from 2015. It was like more like 2016, so it was because it was at the end. Just look at the sun, the way it's acting.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the most active
It
solar.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Solar maximum? Because
Yeah.
we've been in solar maximum.
Yeah.
And it's been like one of the most active
Yeah.
ever recorded.
And now it's active solar minimum.
Well, now it's supposed to be in solar minimum, but it's still doing a lot of things. I don't know if y'all watch Stephon Burns, but he'll keep you up to date
Everybody
on-
watches Stephon.
Yeah. So
Everybody watches a little bit of him. You can only watch like the first
you
5
watch
minutes.
like the first 10 minutes and you're good.
10 minutes. I'd have been bored like
It
8
depends
minutes.
on what he's talking about.
At least 8 minutes. I'd have been bored of that. 10 minutes. But
I like Stephon.
But regardless, it's just weird. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it's weird because it's the way everything goes. It's all synchronicities, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that the movies that we've watched have even been synchronicities. I mean, just think of the time when you thought how far-fetched Terminator was.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty far-fetched, right? I mean, like, I'm maybe not to the point to where they look like us yet. You know, like obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger was a man, and the robot looked like a man in the beginning, anyway. But you know, maybe we are there. They're able to put masks on and make look like a completely that like they're that person. Like I don't know if you guys saw that Jim Carrey one where the guy he didn't look exactly like Jim Carrey because he kind of looked younger than Jim Carrey looks at this point, but
He looks similar, but
He-
they didn't look
I
all
mean,
that much alike.
I mean, it's scary. Like the people you could trick with that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Well, now they do holograms and stuff.
yeah. So watch that one. Look. So now here we go.
Wake it!
We're gonna check this one out, guys. The reason why we're doing it is because we are getting prepared for. Look, it's some of you may find it like maybe like it's a stupid subject, you know, but it's a relevant subject at this point. It may, whether it's stupid subject or not, it's relevant at this point where they are doing this thing. Now they may be just covering up for the Epstein files or whatever, you know, look at the shiny thing over here, right? But they're still doing it. So us as followers of Christ, we need to be, you know, aware that it's going to be so fresh on TV or whatever it's about to happen that we all need to be like, oh yeah, we're expecting this completely right now.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel about it. You know, but so, and how do you guys feel about it? Like,
I was shown the Terminator when I was about 5, so 56 years ago in a dream.
you were shown it in a dream. Make sure you read them. I want to, because we discuss what they're talking about as well.
Well, that's what it says.
All right, so we're going to take about 5 minutes to watch what you guys are talking about, and so we can go back and forth for a second. Then we'll move on to the next, like what we were going to show. But yeah, so you just keep an eye on like what they're talking about. Look, I'm interested in dreams like that because I've never had a Terminator dream. You know, would it be that you had the dream because
You know what? I
Yeah.
just thought about something, and it really just like struck a chord in me. Okay.
what's up?
Do you remember when we lived back when we lived in when we left South Haven and we went to
Sardis?
Sardis? I had a dream, and I don't know if you remember me telling
Say
you,
it loud.
but it was a dream, and it was a seraphim. And it's so strange because earlier today, I kept getting in my spirit seraphim for some reason. But in my dream, it was a seraphim, and its wings were like doing like this, you know? But inside was a strand of DNA. And it was doing something to the DNA. You remember me telling you about that dream?
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the DNA part of it.
Yeah, that was the main part. It was like a strand of DNA. It looked, and it was all different colors, and the wings were doing like this, like, you know, and it was working.
So it was like working on a piece
yeah,
of
like
DNA.
it was working on a strand of DNA.
Well, look, guys,
I know
back.
it's strange,
Listen,
but
okay, so that brings up something that went on in 2015. You guys interested in hearing it? Give me some hearts or something. I know how it's gonna sound, but it really did happen, and it was the last night that they were there. It was the last night they were
The
there.
angels?
The last night the angels were there. I woke up the next morning, and you know it was like house completely dead. You know, nothing going on. So this happened the last night they were there. And if you're interested in knowing what that is, all right. I'll say more than just a couple. So I told you at this point, by the time that I reached closer to the end of my time with the angels, they had become more transparent than me just hearing them and seeing like movement. I was actually seeing the transparency.
Yeah, they look clear, kind of
Right.
like the predator. Was it the predator?
Yeah, something like that. It
Yeah,
was, you could see them, but
you could see the silhouette.
yeah. Okay. Now I know how this is gonna sound, but they had all fell asleep. Hannah was asleep on the couch. Bailey was asleep in his bedroom. Rachel was asleep in our bedroom, and I was having a hard time going to sleep. I was listening to all the angels and watching the movement, but they were going back and forth from each one of them and doing something to them, and it was like 2 or 3 at a time, like they were studying something, like they would go over there and mess with them, doing something in their head, and they were doing it to each one of you, like going back and forth. You could hear them walking back and forth from the rooms. If you find this interesting, give me some more hearts, and I'll keep going. Because I'll tell you the rest of what happened. On this particular thing. Now you got to think now. I woke up the next morning, they're gone. No more like angelic.
I was on the back side of a fence, and the people that were walking towards the fence began to melt.
In a dream.
She's talking about that Terminator thing.
Oh, okay.
Melt. I saw their eyes melt down their face. It was wild. Scary.
So I'm assuming that heart is you guys throw them ones up if you want to.
Just finish it.
I know, but I like to build the story. I like to the suspense.
Such a
Throw them
weirdo.
ones up if you want to hear the rest of that little story I was going to tell. And if we get good videos during it, we will play them. If you got a good video that goes with any of this we're talking about, we will. But okay, so all right, there's that one. Here they come. It's about a 40-second lag, so you got to think like I'll say something, and then you got to wait like 40 seconds for it to. Here it goes. Okay. So they were going back and forth between each room to them, and I could see it clearly. And they were doing something inside their heads. Like they would lean down, and you could see their fingers. Like, I think they're transparent, so they were kind of like dipping off into their heads. I didn't know what was going on, but I felt left out. Or if I didn't go to sleep, I was gonna be left out. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever this was they were doing. So I went on and went and got in the bed, and they started doing it to me too. So they were going back and forth. I could hear them walk on her side of the bed and then walk out of the room. Walk on my side of the bed. Now look, I've got my eyes closed. I'm not asleep because I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm trying to at least, yeah. And when they bent over to look, I saw eyeballs. Like when you've got your eyes closed, it's darkness, right? I mean, other than like this light's in my face, so when I close my eyes, I don't see darkness. I see the light and some darkness, whatever. So I'm laying there and I see 2 eyeballs put up in my head, like in that darkness, like, and then look, back away. They was doing something. Look, and I seen 2 sets of eyeballs.
Oh my gosh.
2 sets of eyeballs look in my head and then back away, and they were doing something. And I felt like that night that they were doing something that was for the future. Does that make sense? I felt like that. I felt like, I didn't know that we weren't going. The reason why.
It sounds like the seraphim, because the seraphim have eyes everywhere.
Well, I want to be honest with you guys. They did not look like. I've never described what they look like. You know what I mean? Like, But I just want to say that they don't look exactly like what we pictured. Okay.
They're not beautiful.
Well, I mean, it's
I don't know. I think some people think that. I mean, I'm sure there are some good-looking ones. Obviously,
yeah.
the worst one out of them is good-looking, but people just have this, fairy tale imagination of how
Now,
they would look.
do you find it odd that because you didn't know they were doing that?
Mm-mm. I remember you telling me when it happened.
Look, so she didn't know. It was just happening to her, but she was just asleep. Okay. I'm the only one focusing on what they're doing because I'm like, this is weird. They haven't done this before. You know what I mean? Where they're doing this walking back and forth between each one of us. I felt like they were doing something to our DNA. Is that?
Do you feel energy from their presence?
I have felt energy from
At
presence.
at that time, did you feel something?
No, I was more hearing like footsteps, bed bend, like
when
bend
the
over.
one was looking in your head, did you not feel something?
No, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. No, I didn't.
You just seen.
I just seen it.
Okay.
So it wasn't like like an electrifying experience. It's weird to see two sets of eyeballs. First, you see one set, and you're asking yourself, "Did I just see eyeballs pop in my head?" You know what I mean? In my vision clearly, and then in the next, now I'm seeing two sets of eyeballs. So they were doing something in our heads, and they were studying it, like whatever it was, they were studying hard. Now, I had a feeling like maybe that was the mark on the forehead, mark in the head.
Maybe it was.
Maybe they're marking us.
And they privileged you to be able to see that.
I mean, yeah, it could very well could have been. I don't know, if it's an actual feeling that you feel when it happens, then yeah, I guess possibly that was the mark and it was in our heads. Wasn't on our head, it was in our head. If it's an actual feeling. Now, I always felt like I got marked the day I was given a name. But that may not necessarily be true. It may have had to be an actual event. Maybe that was the event. But I've never, really tried to tie those two together like that, to be honest with you. So that would be my first time for that. Anybody find that interesting? I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you, oh yes, eyeballs popped into my head and I felt this electrifying love for the Lord, and I'm not gonna add all this stuff to it. It either happened or it didn't. Okay.
Right.
So I'm not gonna fluff it up to make some kind of
make it something it's not.
Yeah. If I got in here telling elaborate stories and making them up, well, we would have 30 people in here right now. But
if we was talking about Satan, we'd have thousands of people.
Oh yeah, y'all know how it is when you get to talking about something dark.
Everybody wants to
man,
hear.
Everybody, yeah. I figured out who the beast is. Oh my gosh, they show the drove. Yeah.
Interesting but scary. That's what Amy said.
Well, it wasn't really.
It was scary for him because I remember coming home, and you were already home, I think. And he followed me around the whole house, like he was attached. Like, don't leave me alone. Don't leave me.
Yeah,
alone.
And you got to think, I'm doing this to something she's not seeing or hearing. At that, so it's like. You guys think, she's, what did you think? Like I was losing my mind or something?
Yeah, well, no, I kind of thought it was funny because stuff like that don't scare me. and
Well,
it
this-
was funny. Him kind of strange. Him being all freaked out and scared.
Well,
being
I mean, Rachel,
a
look,
grown,
Rachel,
strong man.
I'm outside. I'm in front of the tree driveway. I'm on the driveway. And I can hear them like, it sounds like this. Right? I can hear them talking, but I can't understand what they're saying at all.
Right.
It's not like they're speaking a different language. It's just that it's like so low or
On a different frequency.
yeah, like so I can't really just understand it. But it's been going on for quite a few days. And so now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, look, I can hear you talking. So speak to me. Right?
Right.
And
Amy said, "I never sleep with the lights off again." Laugh out loud.
oh, well, we've had some. We'll tell you about that. Y'all want to hear some experiences? We'll tell you about some of those. But look, while I'm saying, why don't y'all speak to me? Turn your like this. It came down like this. Hey, and went back up towards the tree. Felt like it came down from the tree and went right back up towards the tree, but that clear. When it did that, the hair on the back of my neck, you got to think, my hair on my hairs I didn't even have were standing up. You know what I mean? I instantly retracted, went in the house.
do you, I just wanted to say hi and love you all. I have a stomach flu or something not so good. I will hopefully be able to catch you all tomorrow. Love you. Okay, Leah. Well, we hope you get to feeling better.
Yeah, Leah,
And
we
we'll
love
keep you
you.
in our prayers, okay?
Yeah, we'll say a prayer, extra prayer for you tonight, Leah.
So everybody please say a prayer for Miss Leah.
Yeah, and don't say them out loud.
Yeah, in here.
Say it inside. Well,
You know
you'll-
when we lived over there in Midtown,
yeah.
this was a kind of an old house in Memphis. And that place, there was some stuff going on there because one day I walked in and there was like a little small step from the kitchen to the living room. And I was in the living room and I went to walk in the kitchen and the energy was so heavy. It felt like you almost had to like cut through it, like stretch into it, because it was so strong and heavy. I've never in my life felt something that thick. It felt thick, like thick air around you.
Now, when we lived in Sardis, when I felt like, well, I don't know that it was the Holy Spirit, but I know it was, well, any spirit coming from God's Holy Spirit. But I don't know which spirit it was, but I felt like it was Jesus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I had my eyes closed and I was praying, and all of a sudden this energy came up on me on the bed, and I was like pinned. Like I couldn't even have moved. And it was light. It was complete light, and it was complete like a good feeling, but it was very like you said, heavy, like I had no control. You know what I mean? I felt that before. But I
It takes a strong person to have those experiences, Melissa.
so one night I've done went to sleep. Okay, so I done got in the bed. I'm asleep, and Rachel comes. Right, she's like gets in the bed, and immediately.
Let me tell my story.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So I go get in the bed. Him and the kids are asleep. They're all in my bed. And it was like midnight, I think.
Kids were in there?
Huh?
The kids were in
Yeah.
there?
You are talking about when I seen that.
Oh yeah, you can tell that. But I was
Oh, I
I was
thought
talking about the night that your name was called, and we got up. And,
Oh.
but you tell that
No,
one
go
too.
ahead. 'Cause
No,
I don't know
what y'all want to hear some stories? These are actual. Like I can back her up, she can back me up in them. And go ahead, tell that one.
Well, I was going to bed, and we had one of those stand-up oscillating fans at the foot of the bed, and I got in the bed and covered up. I had the covers up to about right here, and I closed my eyes, and you know how you can hear when somebody walks in front of one of those fans? That's what it sounded like, and I was like, oh, and in my head I was thinking, is somebody in the house?
Yeah. Did I feel the change of the temp in the room? Oh.
Did you feel a temperature change in the
Oh.
room
Oh. When in the angels?
I think so. Yeah.
No, but I could hear complete, like, you know how like you can hear like carpet stepping down. Like if somebody's walking on carpet. If you're quiet enough, you hear everything, right? So I was quiet enough in there that I could hear the carpet moving, the touches on the bed. I before I laid down, I could see them going back and forth to them, and I was like, man, I'm about to miss out. But no, I didn't. I didn't feel a temperature change or anything. But you got to understand too, though. I've been experiencing this for about little over 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So it was becoming more normal than it was abnormal. You understand? But I hadn't seen them do this before, so that's why I was like, man, I better lay down before I get left out. But no temperature change and no like electrical like type feeling.
I've had that, the electrical and the energy. I've had that where I feel like, because I'm real sensitive anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a very sensitive person in every sense of the way. But I can tell just by walking in a room if the energy is off.
You know what gives me my indicators, guys? It's kind of like my spidey senses. Okay, I'll tell you what happens with me. My forehead gets hot. If I walk into a room, ever since Rachel came to me one time and she says, "You got a crown," and I was like, okay." She's like, "No, I'm serious. You got a crown." And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, "Come here, let me show you." So she goes and opens up the refrigerator, and there's a RC Cola in there. I think it was an RC Cola, something like that, RC Cola. And on it said something like crown. I had a little crown on it. And she goes, "You got a crown." And you got to think, guys, she used to do me like this all the time. This is not like, I had to get clues off of stuff like this.
Well, that's just how God works with me. He gives me a word or.
But
an
her
indication.
word came off of an RC Cola bottle in the refrigerator that I had received a crown. And so when I looked at her crazy, she was like, "I don't care if you don't believe me." And I'm like, "Rachel, it's not that I don't believe you. It's that I've got to try to understand what you're saying." You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple for her, guys. Like,
Amy said, You guys got me feeling like Scooby Doo at this point, hearing all this at almost 2 a.m.
yeah, it is a little overwhelming. Well, there's a lot. I told you guys there's a lot of stories we haven't told. You know what I mean?
we have so many.
So
much
many.
has happened to us over the years. Oh my
You
God.
know, and you got to think, I went from a guy who grew up Baptist, spiritual is kind of like, a mystery.
I still think to this day that I'm going to have to go to Washington at some point for something.
I hope not. But anyway, so, I hope not. But I remember that experience. But, what was we talking about on that? Was we still talking about that? Oh, the time that she saw something at the foot, these two entities at the.
No,
You said one. Two. It was just one? was at the foot of my feet. Now this is before we were at all like
Spiritual.
we were young.
We were young.
You know what I mean? Like we weren't like educated spiritually at all.
We didn't. I'd never even read the Bible.
Well,
at that
you got
point.
you got to think at that time. Rachel, it bothered Rachel so bad she was calling paranormal investigators. That's how unspiritual.
You can laugh at me or
No,
you
I'm
want
not
to,
laughing, but I'm telling how serious you were about it.
Well, I was serious.
She was
'cause
scared to death.
I didn't know what was going on.
This was like the first real like.
That was the first thing I've ever seen or dealt with.
Right. So you pop up.
Well, I heard that in front of the fan, and I was thinking to myself, "Oh gosh, is somebody in the house?" And Jason's asleep, and it kind of freaked me out. And so I got it in my head that if I just jump up real quick, whatever it was would maybe go away. And so I finally got up the nerve and I jumped up real quick. And when I did, I could see it was like the whitest white light you could ever imagine. And it was the silhouette of a person. And I could see some blue, it was almost like it was a blue sash or something. I could just see some blue. But that scared the mess out of me because I didn't know nothing about.
You got to think I'm waking up and she's telling me it was at the foot my feet. This is when we're thinking something's after me. You know what I mean? Like, why was it at my feet? Why couldn't it have been at your feet? You know what I mean?
Well, maybe I scared it over to your side.
I don't know, but yeah, that's how we thought back then. I was like, but it didn't really affect me back then. Like I had a hard time believing her. I thought she was, just saw something.
He thought I was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hadn't had anything.
This
like
was
that.
Before he had any kind of.
Yeah, so at that time it just sounded crazy to me, What we got? Read some of it. Read some of the. Go up a little bit.
Thanks, guys. Been working straight through it.
Yeah, Guitarster Scott, we're so glad to have you in tonight.
Yes, we are. Not gonna say no to snacks, is what Amy said.
That's right.
And Jason Kern said everyone at work is in shorts and t-shirts, and I'm wearing sweatpants and a hoodie with my hood up.
Well, you're doing it like John Fetterman. You know what I mean? Kern got that John Fetterman thing going on.
And Guitarster said, I don't say no to snacks either. That makes three of us.
Yeah. In fact, y'all are making me want a snack now. And
I'm hungry.
And we hadn't ate dinner yet. But so I was going to tell you a couple more little stories because they kind of, these are the smaller stories. I've told you huge stories. But there was a time that, so this is when we lived in our trailer. And this is the part I was telling. I want her to tell the rest of it, but she's got to know what story I'm telling. And so she'll listen to it for a second, and then she'll start telling it. But I get in the bed, I'm asleep, I'm already there. And she gets in the bed, or maybe I wasn't dead asleep. Maybe I was just like, but I was one of those like, as soon as you hit the pillow, you're going to go to sleep type deals. And we just climb up in the bed, and we're in there. As soon as we get laid down real good, she goes, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "What?" She said, "I just heard my name called in the house." So we get up to inspect, right? I mean, obviously. So we go around, we turn all the lights on in every room, and we start hearing stuff outside. You want to tell the rest of it?
Go ahead.
She don't know where I'm at yet. but we were hearing stuff around the house as well. It's like, what is that? What was that noise? You know, like it just kept going. It wasn't
This
like
was like late too. It was like 2, 3 in the morning.
yeah, it was. We went to bed late, you know, so it's like 2, 3 in the morning. We're hearing stuff all over the house, like not loud, but that's a weird noise. Like what made that noise, you know? And we stepped outside on the porch. Now it wasn't like I don't know whether it was foggy or not. I don't think it was foggy. It was just dark, and you could hear voices talking all around the porch. I mean, like
It's almost
talking,
like they were running
something
around
making noises over here, going. Some people talking, and I mean, like guys, this went on like so long that we were really tired. You know, we're out there like obviously this has piqued our interest, right? So we're out there for maybe 30 minutes, maybe less than that, maybe 20. You know what I mean? Listening to these voices and all this. And we've become so accustomed to this type of stuff that we actually went back in and went to bed after we realized it wasn't like somebody breaking in or something like that, you know.
Yeah, we just went to bed.
We just went back to bed. And that's a pretty like, you know, like I remember that really well. And
I do too. I remember that.
You know, and
Because we had stayed up late,
Yep.
and I think we were binge watching some show
probably The Sopranos or something. But
or True Blood.
you know, it's back when we just did. You know, we were younger and these shows were coming out, so we were watching. But what else was it? There was another time. I've told y'all the police one. That one was probably the most blew my mind the most.
Yeah, we saw that.
To watch spirits submit. You got to read. Look, you're sitting over here because you handle this.
Jason, nothing has been said.
What is Kern saying?
They're talking to each other.
Oh well, I need you to read any of them out loud so I can join in the conversation.
I've been watching it.
I don't have my good glasses on, guys, and it's been a rough couple days for me. That's the only reason I haven't hit the Book of Enoch yet, is because I want to be real clear, have a lot of clarity whenever I do so, and I haven't had it, you know. But anyway, so now,
Can't you tell he's not real clear?
come on, guys, probably. But so let's go to this one. Let's see. Have we played that one yet?
No.
All right, here we go, guys.
You've had many believers trying to warn you, and now it's here.
But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft, that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear.
Go warn your congregation for what is coming? We've tried to tell you the UFOs and the aliens. That's the plan. That's the narrative. That's what it's looking like. I'm not saying for certain because TikTok will probably take this down. But can you see it? The cards are laid out on the table right in front of your eyes. You're looking at them. You're literally looking at them right in your face. Wake up. The government is trying to prep these mega pastors because they are.
I mean, they are, guys. They're trying to prep mega pastors. I mean, and that's only because they're on TV and, you know, they're trying to cover all the bases, like all the TBN pastors. You know what I'm talking about? The high up ones, you know, the ones that
the big ones.
They get out in front. But what are they going to prepare you for? What are they going to say?
I mean, yeah, I don't.
What's the preparation
I
for?
almost wonder if it's not backwards. You know, when they tell you something, you should probably think the opposite.
Possibly, yeah, guys.
Anytime the government's telling you something, you better
what do y'all think? I mean,
well, if they're saying this, then they really mean this.
yeah, I mean, we know that they're setting up, like you say, for predictive programming. We know that. But I I just think that what could they possibly yeah, the great deception, that's what we're talking about. And you know, that's the thing is that it's it's what would they prepare a pastor for if it's going to tell you that religion is false, that they created it, you know, for whatever reason, and that they're the true.
I don't know. It just really, it kind of doesn't make sense to me.
I mean,
You know, I know we've been waiting on this and been hearing about it, but I just feel like they're keeping our attention on that while they're doing something else.
What's that JS saying there?
That's that's why the Great Deception. That's why they are preparing for it.
But the thing is though, why would the government care about the churches on the great? That's what I'm trying to ask. You know, it's like if you think about the government, why if the government wants you to be tricked, then are the pastors or the mega pastors in on it? That's my what I'm wondering. You know what I mean? Like what? Because all they could do is prepare you for get ready because you're going to be lied to, and you're going to see. But to prepare them, they wouldn't be. Government wouldn't be preparing for you to know the right thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said we should probably be looking at it the other way.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. Yeah,
but I'll say this: if what's coming out is God, we'll know it.
Oh yeah, look,
So
look. The thing is that when Jesus makes his entrance, there is no like wondering. Okay, this right here is gonna grab people's attention. You won't have to wonder, is that Jesus? You know what I mean, or any of that. Okay, so what it boils down to is that
chickens get out?
I hope the chickens didn't get out.
It sounds like it. Let me go look. I hear them.
Sure.
I hear something.
But
my.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't move my leg.
Oh.
I'm in a. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to read what's being said. No more separation of church and state. That's true. That's true, and that's what this is boiling down to, guys. They're not going to be able to say that there never should have been a separation of church and state. You know, but you're right. It's kind of like they're going to try to put it all together as one thing. You know, worship the beast, which is the state. Are they loose?
No. It must have been the rooster.
LJS is putting some good ones up.
I'm about to go in.
No. Well, we're gonna be on for.
Cause I'm gonna go cook.
What time is it?
8:05.
We're gonna be on about another 20 minutes, so then you can cook. Is that cool? Read LJS he's definitely he's an awesome guy. I love him. Guitarster. I've been blessed with a couple of you guys tonight. Guitarster. That was a blessing. You know, glad to see him back. You know, he's a tough cookie. Let me tell you that Guitarster is a tough cookie. But so it's not like that we have to be so super prepared for deception, because I know all of you guys are strong in it. But what we're going to do is we're going to witness others that fall for it, people that you think a lot of. I wonder about my son sometimes, you know what I mean? You know, I experienced Elijah through him. He's not Elijah, though. You know what I mean? I experienced Elijah through him. So, but he's real into that intergalactic, you know, could be, he's technology based. I've even asked him, I was like, dude, if they offered you this thing to put in your hand where you can open doors and pay for your food, do all these things, you'd find that highly, what, like cool technology. And that's how a lot of these young people are going to look at it, guys, because they haven't been schooled like we have growing up. And it's not all of us. There's a lot of Christians can't tell you anything of what we're talking about. I deal with it all the time. They don't even know what we're talking about. And, you know, for those 70 AD people, it's like, guys, look, you cannot, money started about, I don't know what, about 50 years before Jesus. The money system where, you know, on a coin that was worth 5 cents, they stamped 5 cents on it. You know, like whatever. That's when they started putting money on silver and things like that. Of course, that's like the start of it, but it ends up at crypto. You know, crypto is the first time you've been able to take things from people, take their money or pass money, you know, like we do now. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. It'll make the banking system go away. But let's get back to hang on. I had a good one. Now here's another girl. She's talking about it, and I found her highly interesting. I think you guys will too.
Hey y'all, I'm back. All I have seen today on my FYP is the alien disclosure stuff. The hate a virus, I don't know how to say it, the virus. But mostly both. That alien disclosure and that virus, y'all. I have been for years telling people, literally for at least 4 years now, telling people that when the rapture happened, that this is how they would explain away the Christians going up and disappearing. Literally, like, I sounded crazy. I know you hear people talking about it now, but 4 years ago, I sounded like a loony bird. People were like, okay, crazy, like, okay, conspiracy theorist. And what I have said from the get is they will start, that's why they've been slowly integrating, talking about UFOs, UAPs. They're calling them aliens, just so you know, just so you're informed. They are demons. They are not aliens. There's no such thing as an alien. They are demons. It's all demonic. When we are raptured, when Jesus Christ returns for his church, and a bunch of people go missing at once, we're not with the aliens. We're not on the motherboard ship. We are with Jesus Christ. So this alien disclosure thing that they're getting ready to talk about, that they're already talking about, is setting up for the Great Tribulation and the rapture. Y'all, if you don't know by now, if you literally cannot see it, even unbelievers should be able to see this. Even unbelievers should be able to understand that something's not right. Something is going on. And y'all, if you don't know Jesus, you better get a relationship with him before it is too late. The Lord is returning. That's why they're talking about the aliens. That's why they're trying to get the world prepared for us leaving. I'm trying to tell you now, get to know Jesus. He's returning very soon. And if you're not in a personal relationship with him, you will not be taken in the rapture.
You hear that, guys? Now look, the thing that's the biggest, the only look, The reason why we're looking at it so hard is because it's a rapture indicator. We are the Rapture Saints Assembly. So we are watchers, and we're watching. And we're watching hard at what's going on. Are we saying tomorrow, Thursday, next? No, we're not saying that. We're saying this is a big sign, a huge one. You know, so I have no idea, but even Kern said, Kern told me a few days ago, like here recently, I'd asked everybody, I was like, so in general, how do you feel about it? And Jason Kern told me, he was like, I feel like it'll be in a couple years, And I told him, I said, well, I can't back down from saying what Elijah told me. So I stick with this year, I still stick with it. Okay. That is a part of my experience. But Kern told me after he heard the UFO disclosures and stuff that he suddenly, it took away a couple years for him. I'm so sorry. I don't realize what I'm doing. Okay. So, so he's seeing the indicator as well. Like we all are watching, like we're supposed to, watchers. What did Kern say there? Anybody? I totally agree with her. Yeah, me too. I do agree with her as well. And that's why I have been presenting these to you guys the last couple of days. Not to mention, because of my situation, how I've been feeling with brain.
Why are you looking over here?
Oh,
because you have it right here.
I don't know why I do that. I'm on a lot of medication, possibly.
Okay.
You guys, look, we're real people. We sit here. We're not like Brandon Biggs and
Look, I'm not gonna be fake. If I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you.
So she sits over here and gives me a hard time the entire time. Gives me dirty looks, smacks me. Just wants you to know I'm abused over here on this side.
He looks abused, don't he?
I am abused.
If I was gonna abuse you, I'd sew your lips together.
Kids, things are coming together. Lots of things are coming together. Yeah, they are. They are. But, UFO files or disclosures are such a huge indicator to go along with everything else. If you were to go, well, if we, what we need to come together, we need UFO disclosure. That would really make it, you'd know that
that would be the
right,
cherry on top.
It's like we're getting the cherry on top, and exactly. That's how I feel about it. That was a good example.
Been talking to people about this for 6 months, and they look at me crazy. Holy Spirit knows and shows. Ryan said that.
That's right. And look, we know that Jesus.
She's a poor baby. Not.
The Lord. The Lord. But the Bible tells us that he won't do anything that he doesn't tell us through his prophets. Right? So we know that we will know. I've told all of you that when the angels show up, you're going to know. Okay? They're not going to show up to my house to come tell you something. You've got your own set of angels that are going to show up to tell you exactly what's going on at the time it's going on. When this was happening to me, guys, I wouldn't say it wasn't happening to everyone that was supposed to happen to.
Maybe
it was just that I could see it.
Maybe they just didn't know what was
like
going
you
on.
didn't know.
That's what
I know that's what we're this is called, like The View. we're discussing. So, you didn't know when they was doing that. I had to tell you what they were doing, right? So, what if they were doing it to everyone, and it was just I could see what was going on in our household? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know everything. I just know what I could see at the time. You know, what if it was happening to everyone? Yeah, I think it's about time for the Noah to get to the boat. That's right. Look, guys, you have no idea. We don't have to worry about being excited because it just keeps being exciting.
Oh, the chicken's down. Do you hear it?
No,
Over here.
that's ducks.
That ain't ducks.
I can hear.
It's right here out the door. Or out the... That's a duck.
I don't know what that is, but I ain't worried about it.
I guess-
Put these on, you won't hear it.
Well, why is it clucking like that?
I don't know, Rachel. Go check it out.
Something wrong with it?
No.
Okay. I'll just let it cluck then.
All right, I'm gonna go check on the chicken while Rachel continues to talk about exactly what we're talking about.
What are we talking about?
The indicator of rapture, like neon sign type stuff, cherry on top, where even your normal people that want me to preach instead of talk about it are getting excited and talking about it.
Well, there's just so many things going on that, lead us to that.
I can hardly walk.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
He can barely walk, y'all. It's pitiful. Are you okay?
Yeah. Just talk to them.
Are you? Okay. Are you gonna make it?
Yeah.
He's going to check on the chicken because it's acting. I don't hear it now.
As soon as I get up
Is everybody ready for the rapture?
well, I mean, we all ready, but also a lot of people got worn out with it.
Well, I know, and that's it's kind of bad because when Joshua came out with all that and got everybody hyped up about it, and then it didn't happen, and then it didn't happen again, and then it didn't happen again, it frustrates people, and then they don't want to think about it, talk about it, hear about it anymore. And I think that's the whole point of that. Fly, float, same thing. Well, Kern, I'm glad you're ready. I'm glad you are. But yeah, people, and the thing about these UFOs or UFO disclosure, people, especially people that are hurting or broke, all kinds of things, just whatever their situation may be, it may lead them in the wrong direction because of their hurt. Thank you, Jan. We are home. Jason's still not feeling all that great. But I've been taking care of him. He's a big old baby, just like Mama Bear said. He's a big old baby, let me tell you. Did you see anything? Here comes the baby. He's coming back.
Well, when I say wore out, I mean, even myself, as far as trying to keep it going. But the thing is now is we've backed away from talking about it because we just kind of like, let's talk about other things and wait for a bigger time to come up or, more. And it's like, we can't quit talking about it because the doggone things keep happening.
And there's so many things. I don't think it's ever been quite like this, ever.
Well, we know that, but I mean, like, UFO files, I mean, that's I've been told that my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, even in a Baptist church growing up, we learned that that was an indicator. You know, when that was when I was a little kid. You know what I mean? I remember watching my first like Revelation movie when I didn't know what Revelation was, and I was like freak.
I did the same thing. The first time I watched Left Behind, I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, Left Behind was like that was like new age compared to what I watched back in the day.
What was it?
It was just some like church, like they played it at church.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of like
Have you ever been
where
they have those things at church where they take you through hell? Yeah. They used to have these, I don't know if they still do or not, but churches would put them on. And what it is they do a setup and they take you through heaven. And then they take you to hell and they show you what it's like.
It's like a scare house or something?
Yeah, kind of.
Like, when did they do this? At Halloween or what? Mm-hmm. Well, that was called a scare.
I just said it was a scare house.
Heaven or hell scare house.
But it was through church.
Yeah. I can see them doing that.
It's kind of like PG.
It's kind of like Trunk or Treat or something,
Yeah, but they're trying to scare the kids into.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I remember watching my first Revelation. I don't even know, like, if we're talking about like old enough to have. It was old school. But it still had the same,
like an after school special.
Yeah, it was still lined out like Left Behind though. They just weren't there yet. You can't see crypto before crypto comes about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish they would make a new one.
I guess John on Patmos did. You know what I mean? But overall, he didn't know why is that coming up? I didn't do that, guys. I didn't do that. I don't even know what happened here. But anyway, we've had a great night of talking about this. It's definitely an interesting subject at this point. It is. We had one more. I think we have one more. But it's relevant. That's the whole deal. Is the relevancy of it all. So that's the only reason we're like bringing up, because you guys are going to be dealing with this over the next week or 2 or 3, where we're going to have to be telling people don't look at that stuff.
We used to have a scare house in Benton set up at the church. I think they stopped after COVID.
I'd be interested in going to something like that, after I get well.
Well, when we were going to community, Candy and them, they took all the youth group to it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I put on, look, so there was this little church. They probably had max people, how many?
13.
I mean, like.
Are you talking about community?
Yeah, but
it was
at this
never
time,
more than 13.
But this time it was like it was they were trying to put together some youth. They're like one of those type of churches that every time they get something good going, they run everybody off.
Run them off.
And it's because like people want to get involved in the church, so it's like I want to sing in the choir. Well,
I want to do this. That's for us two only.
Yeah. So basically, if you weren't family, you weren't getting in on anything, right? But they were pretend like they were gonna let it happen, but they would always do something to run them off.
I don't think we realized just how much change was made because of COVID.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But now we have the hantavirus. Now, is that not some scary stuff right there? The hantavirus.
Now,
Woo.
that's the thing about it is COVID definitely was a marker.
Absolutely. You could definitely tell 2020 completely changed.
Yeah, I mean, forever changed people forever. They're even talking about people got
And I'm not even talking about the sickness. I'm just talking about the things that went along with COVID. All the changes made. Seemed like time sped up.
Yeah, yeah.
Seemed like 500,000 things happened in 2 days.
Yeah, yeah. It was like that was like 10 years in one.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
And did everybody feel that way? Did everybody feel like it was like 10 years in one? Like,
Revelation walk. Maybe that was what it was called.
And here it is, we're seeing this pandemic, this the way they did it. But for here's what bothers me the most about it, guys, is that I was always like, there's no way that they could get this many healthcare workers to lie and
Well, they
do the
did.
wrong thing.
A lot. Well, some didn't. Some left that.
Well,
that
smaller number than stayed, right? Because
yeah,
to convince me that if you go in the hospital, that they put you on a respirator and give you this thing, and they don't go together, so you're not ever going to come off the respirator and you die, right? You couldn't have convinced me that many healthcare workers would be involved in it, but there was money involved in it. Like, if you died of COVID, they got a huge bonus or something, right? I'm telling it right. Like, that's why that year so many people died of COVID or were just in car wrecks and died of something else. It was, and they had COVID. You know what I mean?
this new one isn't even contagious like COVID.
That's what they're saying now.
Ryan said pandemic.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus says it used to not be able to spread from human to human, but I think they had something in the COVID vaccines that if you took it, now you can be infected from another human.
Yeah, you know what, guys? What if let's just say, what if that was a precursor to this one? Like, taking the vaccine causes this one to really ignite in you. You know what I mean? Like, it was a part of the plan for this one. Even if it's not this one, maybe it's one of them coming up. Because it's the first time in my life that I ever heard that I don't want to be around somebody who's not vaccinated because they might cause me to get it. What? It is the complete opposite. If you get vaccinated, then a person who's unvaccinated should be worried about being around you because they haven't been vaccinated. That's the way life has always worked. But anyway, guys, here it is, Friday. I'm gonna play this one more little clip, so we can talk about this one for just a hair. But guys, they were trying to convince us of things that, look, there's facts and then there's your facts. There's what facts actually are, and then there's made up. That's the first time I've ever heard them just make up their own facts. Like, can a man have a baby? I'm not a biologist. Hey, look, it doesn't take a biologist to tell you whether a man can have a baby or not.
Play the video.
So they were trying to convince you of things that's my point for saying that, is that all right, so we're going to play this one real quick. see what this guy has to say. This is about the strange noises that they've been hearing all over the place.
If we start to hear this term thrown around,
Make sure I'm on the beginning of this video.
energy conservation, the term energy conservation lockdown in America, I want everyone in this country to know exactly why this happens. There was a lot of money invested in data centers. So these data centers, what do they need? Energy, right? We have to point the finger right now because we are reliant on other countries for oil. But here's the crazy part. If we start to hear this term thrown around, energy conservation lockdown, we need to point that finger at California. We need to point that finger at Mr. Gavin, because the reason why our oil refineries, we have less refineries, is because they had an oil spill. And he doesn't want to reopen those refineries in California. Meaning we have these things built so that we have more of this oil in production, but it's being shut off on purpose because you don't want an oil spill. So point that finger that way. I find it very, very odd that we're seeing a domino effect, because the reason I'm saying you might hear that in America, other countries are having energy conservation lockdowns right now. So why wouldn't it spill over to America? Especially when some of our refineries are purposely shut down. I'm out.
I don't know why I found that interesting, but I did.
I was gonna say that really doesn't have much.
I don't know. I don't know what. I was looking for the strange noises, and I ended up at that one. Is this one?
So yeah, this is it. I think.
Sorry, guys, for putting you through that, but look.
Well, at least you know about the energy
conservation. You learned it here first, guys. You learned it here first.
It's all California's fault.
But anyway, so this is the one I wanted you guys to hear. This is Rachel's ready to eat, and I am too. So we're gonna play this one, show you, because I do want you to see what this is going on right now too, and it's odd.
Very loud to the point where it was concerning.
Locals say it woke them up and continued for as long as 20 minutes.
Sounded really piercing, like a leaf blower times 100.
I have no idea what it could have been, but something other than just guns.
And they're not alone. Dozens of residents took to social media, sharing videos from Savannah, Georgetown, and Berwick of the peculiar noise. One of the most common guesses, military operations. All three locations where the noise was reported surround Hunter Army Airfield. However, we reached out to the base. They denied any involvement or knowledge of the noise.
Either way, at least give people a warning so we can put some earplugs in, okay?
If it is involving training, that they should tell the public, especially in today's political climate. We just never know.
For now, your neighbor's guess is as good as anyone's, because it's a mystery.
Now, the thing...
Was that the noise they were hearing?
That was the noises they were hearing, but I've heard, like, horn noises.
It almost sounds like kind of like a helicopter's...
Yeah, I mean, that right there, that sounded like far-off military, or actually not even that far. But I've heard ones that's what the ones I was looking for. And it'd be like a horn or
like
a loud,
ship.
like a loud vibration, like boom. I mean, is the universe letting us know that Jesus is coming? You know what I mean? Could it be? Could have something to do with the solar flares and I don't know, but that right there sounded more military-ish to me. I don't know, but guys,
It
look,
did sound like military.
we are going to say that prayer. What's that prayer that we always say? I've been so blessed. Scott, are you still in here, Scott? Because I wanted to ask you, did you hear any of those noises? He lives in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Where at in Georgia?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask him. I know he lives at the bottom of Georgia, but Scott may have heard some of that, or has heard something like that.
Melissa said all creation is groaning. Yeah, that's what I would chalk it up to. It's the earth talking to us.
Now, I've been hearing that type of stuff for years, as far as the noises.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going along with every strange thing that's going on right now. That's why I played it.
Yeah.
But that's right.
Our Father,
who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive others who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever.
And ever and ever.
Cowgirl, are you on here?
I haven't seen
Cowgirl.
She's partying tonight.
Is she?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just
I thought I saw her in the beginning. If Cowgirl's on here, I was going to let Reagan call in and say the prayer. We say that one, but Reagan is our little prayer sayer.
Don't call them.
Look.
Well, they're not on here.
It's real easy. So, guys, it's been an interesting night, I think, and I think that we've got a lot to look forward to as far as when we see that. I see rapture signs, and that's my biggest reason for even doing this kind of a live tonight. I was going to do it last night, but we got off on other subjects, which was cool. And I learned something through my own mouth that night. She said she heard second coolest thing I've ever said. Which was it?
Well, it's the Grace one.
Yeah, that's right. We had some Risen on here who came in under a different name, and we were talking about the perfection of Jesus. His idea of perfection and what made Jesus perfect is that he always had the Father. And I was like, oh, so if Jesus did this, you wouldn't show him grace, but you expect him to show you grace. And he left the live immediately.
That, and you don't put morals on Jesus. Jesus puts morals on you.
That's right.
Stop worrying and start enjoying.
That's right. Stop worrying and start enjoying, guys.
Amen, people.
Look, we don't make the rules. We're just here. And worrying about little goofy things all the time that ain't gonna amount to a hill of beans when Jesus gets here. It ain't gonna amount to a hill of beans. So don't worry about all these little stupid habits and goofy things. Just have a good enjoy yourselves. But anyway, I love you. Jesus loves you. Rachel loves you. We love all of you guys, and thank you for coming tonight. I was glad to see Lord Jesus Saves and Amy and Mama Bear and Scott. Means a lot to us,
My
guys.
mom was missing. Oh, she did. We love y'all.
Oh, if y'all could say any prayers for Patty, that would be greatly appreciated. And I need some prayers that I heal up quicker, guys.
Please.
That's all. I will heal. Just I like to heal faster. All right, guys. I love you. I love all of you so much. Jesus loves you.
Good night.
Here's what actually happened.
Rachel's saying good night and heading on. She ain't.
I'm hungry. I have not eaten today.
She's not making any bones about it.
And I'm the one that's got to.
Love all you guys. See you tomorrow night for tomorrow night's worship.
Yeah.
We're worshiping together, jamming together, and loving Jesus together.
This road's long and the dust don't settle.
I'll jam whether my leg is broke.
World's on fire.
Make sure you like, subscribe.
But most folks too busy dancing in the smoke to notice.
Join us. We're a good family.
Steel-toe boots on the black